Welcome to this special edition of Made in the Triad. Summer is on its way out, fall and football season is on its way in, so sit right down. Tonight, we tailgate.
I was proud of it. It was the first one I've ever built.
It's legit cornhole.
Tar Heels. Carolina is by far our most popular. We can't keep Carolina paint here.
And of course, if you're talking tailgating, you have to include food, right? We've got some Triad companies that can spice up any dish you'll put on the grill.
A bottle of our sauce should be in every refrigerator. That's how we feel about it.
And after you call it a day, we'll show you how one Greensboro company is putting you to sleep. I mean that literally.
It aligns your spine at night so you don't toss and turn, you don't have pressure points, so you sleep all night long.
And that is priceless.
That's priceless, yes.
All right, I need a partner. I need a partner. Who's out there? No one's out there. You can be my partner in playing cornhole. It is a traditional tailgating game. Where do these cornhole boards come from? Well, the most famous come from Davidson County. It's legit cornhole. Ha! I made one!
Just always had an act of, trying to make things look good.
Drew Scheidel uses his skills so you can show off yours.
A good friend of mine, his wife asked me to build him a cornhole set.
Having never built one, he gave it a shot.
I was proud of it. It was the first one I've ever built. Started doing them and word got around.
Now, these aren't your run-of-the-mill game boards. They're personal and customized.
A lot of our stuff's unique and looks good.
This Davidson County company is licensed to do every NCAA team, as well as all NFL, MLB, and NHL teams.
Right now, by far, Tar Heels. Carolina is by far our most popular. We can't keep Carolina paint here.
But the legit cornhole company doesn't just do sports.
We've done stuff from like a Chevrolet set to a fireman set to a policeman set, military.
If you can dream it or you're a fan of it, they can design it. And they can ship it. Most of their orders come from...
We ship, probably about 10 to 20 sets a week to the western part of the United States, California, Texas.
All told, they build around 100 cornhole sets a week.
Sometimes I sit back and look at, are we really this busy?
But the high production volume does not sacrifice quality. The company uses premium lumber and paint.
If something don't look good, I don't send it out.
All the boards are regulation size, and they've done some sets for people you might have heard of.
Bubba Watson, Levi Michael that played baseball at Carolina, was just #1 draft pick, and then just recently we had Tim Tebow order a set. So we must be doing something right if we're catching their eyes.
Scheidel is quick to give all the credit to his company's success to his 4 full-time employees.
They make the things happen. There's a lot of people out there that just love our craftsmanship. We do good work and proud of everything that's happened, and it's just great.
From cornhole to popcorn. Popcorn is an easy tailgating snack. And you know what? Chad's Carolina Corn is going to be at football games all over the country.
I knew I wanted to start a business, and I was just trying to debate, what would the product be?
And while Chad Husky debated, several childhood moments just popped right into his mind.
Every memory I have of popcorn's good, either at home, mom cooking it on the stove, or the movie theater, the smell of popcorn.
In 2010, his business caught air, and by that I mean hot air, and he named it Chad's Carolina Corn.
It just feels right. It feels like what I'm supposed to be doing.
Each flavor is designed solely by Chad, who tweaks the ingredients to find just the right taste.
It's not just some generic popcorn. Best seller week in and week out is white cheddar.
But there are 12 varieties to choose from.
As I was selling popcorn, I'd have people, they would, you should do a Chicago mix, So I looked up and kind of saw what that was all about.
And the list of flavors is growing. So is the list of people ordering Chad's Carolina Corn.
We've got people in Hollywood, California, New York. I've shipped to Arizona, Texas, Florida. The list kind of goes on and on. Not all 50 states yet, but I'm getting close.
All the bags come designed with a photo of Chad and his family, and that is by design.
It helps build a personal connection with the business, just beyond they like the product. I think people kind of get on board and they want to support what I'm doing.
But to get started in any business, you have to do your homework.
I just did tons of research on popcorn.
Turns out, when times are tough, popcorn happens to be an affordable and a tasty pick-me-up.
During the Great Depression, the popcorn industry just boomed. And the reason for that was it was something that was relatively inexpensive, you know, because people were hurting and not a lot of, you know, not an abundance of money anywhere.
For Chad, it looks like, well, he has the right mix.
This happened back then, you know, with the Great Depression. It was kind of neat. It was kind of like, okay, well, maybe I think I did maybe pick a winner.
But the best part for him is the fact that he enjoys, yes, all puns intended, popping out of bed and heading to work.
It's never like, oh, you know, back to the grind.
And if you're happy with his product, well, then he's happy.
It puts a smile on their face and makes their day a little bit better. And at the end of the day, I mean, that's what I want to do. You know, I want to make people happy.
Is anybody going to come and join me? Anyone? Anyone? I bet they show up once I fire up the grill. Coming up next, 3 companies that can add a little flair to anything you put on the grill.
We really feel good about it. We call it the champagne of sauces. And we only feel there's only one true champagne, and that's Dom Perignon. So there's only one true barbecue sauce. That's Sir Charles Gourmet.
Meet Charles Shepard Jr. and his Sir Charles Gourmet sauce.
A sauce that was in between the Eastern vinegar heavy style and the Lexington style sweeter sauce.
And we'll take it to Climax for Climax Moppin' and Soppin' Sauce. No one's here just yet, but they're coming because this is a highfalutin tailgating party. It's the champagne of sauces we're starting with. That's right, Sir Charles Gourmet Barbecue Sauce. Charles Shepard, he is no stranger to barbecue.
I always wanted to create a sauce straight from the bottle to the meat.
The Illinois native started cooking for his family before he could drive. As he got older, he honed his skills at Western Culinary School in Portland, Oregon.
I would create sauces and write the recipe down, and our chefs would be trying to get my recipes from. I said, no, you can't have this.
And his obsession with sauce recipes landed him, of all places, right here in this Rockingham County kitchen. He and his wife, they labor over these gourmet sauces.
I call it the 4-in-1 sauce.
Because you can use the sauce to dip, marinate, bake, and of course, well, barbecue with it.
It took me 13 years to get this sauce proper.
13 years of tweaking and refining, and the sauce was one step away from going public.
So my mom said, let me give you one ingredient, which she did. She gave me that one main ingredient, and then it just flared up, and I knew that was it.
So Mom finished the sauce recipe, and it was time to give it a name. So where did Charles Shepard Jr. look?
It's a great name. It's a unique name.
Well, to his dad.
I always call my dad Sir. So his name is Charles, so Sir Charles that's how I came up with the name.
The Shepards started selling their sauce at the Yanceyville Farmers Market in 2010.
We love our customers to be right by our table when they taste it because we want to see the reaction. And the reaction is always, they taste it and they go, ooh, that is good.
Today, it is selling all over the Triad. But this is just the beginning, because Charles won't be satisfied until he conquers the world.
A bottle of our sauce should be in every refrigerator. That's how we feel about it. We really feel good about it. We call it the champagne of sauces. And we only feel there's only one true champagne, and that's Dom Perignon. So there's only one true barbecue sauce. That's Sir Charles Gourmet.
That's right, that's right.
The Sir Charles Saucers, you can find them every single Saturday, 6 until noon at the Yanceyville Curb Market. They'll give you a little taste test, which is great. We're going to continue on with our tailgating party and our next company, Big Daddy's Marinade.
A big guy knows how to cook, and so that people kind of latch on to that.
And it was a big guy who inspired this marinade.
Big Daddy is my dad. His name is Charles Henderson.
The sauce? Big Daddy's marinade.
It's got kind of the vinegar base, which is classic for the Eastern style barbecue. We do have the red peppers, some garlic. We do have some soy sauce. So it's kind of got a little Asian flair to it, if you will.
At the time, Henderson was using the sauce for pig pickings.
This is the sauce that he used on that.
And while it was good for the pork, his son soon found the sauce was good just about anything.
We put it over our collard greens. We use it as a spice for Bloody Marys. We put it over our sushi. Just kind of a variety of things.
So some 2 decades ago, he suggested to his father that they sell the sauce.
His attitude was, well, everybody I know makes sauce. Nobody goes into the grocery stores and buys it.
It wasn't until 3 years ago that an unfortunate change of events changed the family's fortune.
The company I was working with decided they didn't need my services anymore, so they laid me off.
Opposed to looking at the glass half empty, the younger Henderson seized the opportunity to fill that glass up.
I tell people all the time, this is my lemonade. The lemons was the loss of job, the lemonade is the marinade.
With recipe in hand, he set out to bring his dad's sauce to market.
You see it coming run off that line the first time with a label on there, man, we just knew, you know, all of our dreams and everything just coming into reality.
And he is proud of the fact that each bottle that sold bears the logo of the Tar Heel State.
Keep the product made here in the United States, and we keep it local.
And shipping as far away as California.
And we get people from all over the country that's now calling us up and wanting the half-gallon and gallon sizes.
So what does his father think now?
He's been surprised pleasantly of how well it's done. I think sometimes he looks back and says, man, I should have listened to him 20 years ago when he suggested that.
I can't give away what we're having for tailgate dinner, but what I can tell you, the sauce that I used, Climax Moppin' and Soppin' sauce.
It goes with the saying on the front of the bottle, so good it's scary.
No, the sauce won't make you scream, but it might have you begging for more.
Once they pick it up off the shelf the first time, they'll be sold.
Climax Moppin' Soppin' sauce is, as they say, where the East meets the West.
In between the Eastern vinegar-heavy style sauce and the Lexington style sweeter sauce.
Bill Dudley and his daughter Laura came up with this concoction a little over a year ago.
We finally got what we wanted to come up with and then started bottling.
The recipe took about 4 months, but the name, well, that came a whole lot quicker.
We had lived in the Climax area for 32 years now, and we felt like that would be an interesting thing to play on in the name.
As for the moppin' and soppin' part,
it can be used as a marinade and mopped on during the cooking and grilling or any type of cooking. And at the same time, it is thick enough and tasty enough to be used on the table as a sopping sauce.
From the sauce to the name, even the label is one of a kind.
Made the chicken look scared and the cow look worried and the pig look frantic.
Which is how they cooked up the tagline, so good, it's scary, especially if you're poultry, pork, or steak. But that's not all it's good on.
I've got friends that put it on rice and pinto beans and cabbage and you name it.
The sauce can be found at just as many locations as it has uses.
We're in about 85 locations now, and we're expanding that as fast as we can.
And Dudley believes the growth of the sauce just takes one try.
And I don't worry about selling the second bottle, I just worry about selling the first bottle to them. The second bottle will take care of itself.
The sauce is made in Climax, but you can find it at Lowe's Foods and Harris Teeter stores. All right, so stick around because the tailgating continues, and up next, our furry-legged friends who join us in tailgating sometimes.
Initially, I would do a sketch and make sure that everything looks correct.
Meet Todd Belcher of the Jimmy Dog Design Group.
700 a day, 5 days a week.
700 mattresses a day? Finally, we'll wrap the show up and call it a night, if you will, with Spring Air Mattresses of Greensboro.
What we do is we are making people's lives better by giving them a better night's sleep.
So no one showed up to tailgate with me, no family, no friends, so I'm thinking about picking out a new best friend. Maybe this little guy here. You know, pets really do become our family members, and if you've got one at home, then you might want this guy right here to paint a portrait of your best friend.
So initially, I will do a sketch and make sure that everything looks correct. And from that, I do the painting.
Chances are this is where you'll find Todd Belcher, pressed against his easel, pencil or brush in hand.
These photos are just snapshots taken around the house.
The creativity drew him in, but now Belcher's craft is a career.
We named our company after our dog, Jimmy.
The Jimmy Dog Design Group
We named our company in 2002.
is named after a stray dog that his wife found.
He was such a cute puppy and such a good dog.
His first two paintings were of Jimmy the dog. After that, he began to do work for clients all over.
So far, I believe I've done things for people in 26 different states.
And he'll paint almost anything you ask, but his specialty is pet portraits.
I really have an affinity toward animals.
No pet detail goes unnoticed.
The eyes are one of the most important parts of the painting that capture the personality of the pet. I will paint the eyes in several different washes, which is watered down paint, in order to get the look that eyes have, that wet look.
His medium of choice?
Most of my paintings are done in acrylic paint.
But he does them in pencil too.
These are casual images.
He'll even take multiple photos of your pet to create a single work of art.
There is a lot of variety.
And while the focus is geared to the furry four-legged kind, he's up for adding feathers, fins, even scales to his artwork.
And I've had people show me pictures of their iguana, but I've never received a commission for an iguana.
Think you could do one?
But I would love to do one.
Funny how the turn of events, a stray dog, a passion for art, combine to form the elements of a company that celebrates your best friend. You're gonna have to find that perfect frame for that Jimmy Dog Designs portrait. And speaking of frames, we're in a good place because this kind of frame is also a work of art. I mean, if you want a good night's sleep, you're in the right place. This is Spring Air Mattresses.
We are making people's lives better by giving them a better night's sleep.
The sweet dreams of millions of people have made the Spring Air mattress a household name.
There's so much information out there today about health and a better night's sleep and what that does for you.
And what they do here at this Greensboro business can keep you from counting sheep. And they do it by making comfort a priority.
We use different layers of foam, and we use what we call conformafoam, which conforms to your body, and it cradles in certain areas and it supports in others.
The company is one of 13 official U.S. Spring Air licensees that manufacture for Spring Air. This particular plant was formed 40 years ago by Frank Grove Sr. and his two sons in Greensboro, and they had three things in mind: passion, enthusiasm, and of course, quality.
I don't care if they're spending $500 on a queen size or if they're spending $5,000, they need to be getting their money's worth, and that's what we really strive to do.
There is no laying down on the job here. No, the almost 90 employees push out a lot of mattresses.
700 a day, 5 days a week.
700 mattresses a day? That's nearly 200,000 a year.
Our products can be bought almost from shore to shore.
But it's not about the volume.
There's a lot of manufacturers out there in bedding, or it could be any industry, that they're just throwing things together. We don't do that.
And the mattress has been clinically recognized for its benefits for those that suffer from back ailments.
It aligns your spine at night so you don't toss and turn, you don't have pressure points, so you sleep all night long.
And that is priceless.
That's priceless, yes.
Another good thing, the company looks to the Triad when it needs materials. In fact, 98% of all the components come from the Tar Heel State. Why, you ask?
The local U.S.-made products are more consistent, better quality than when you go overseas. It's very important, very important. Sometimes we can go and buy components less expensive outside. We can buy large quantities, but we don't want to do that, and we're not going to do that. We're going to keep it right here in the USA.
Frank Grove Sr. would be proud.
700 mattresses a day. Man, I thought I was busy with cornhole and cooking and creating masterpieces. They say a good night's sleep is priceless. I'm gonna try that out. Hey, anybody got a pillow? Uh-huh, just what I needed. Thanks for joining us on this Made in the Triad special. I'm gonna catch the disease.